Hello Buddhas! Today we are going to be talking about a continuation of an incredible manifestation technique that is actually a meditation technique. Now, why do I call it a manifestation and a meditation technique? Well, a lot of spiritual talks and leaders explain this concept of a higher self. And this morning, literally this morning of recording this video, I was able to literally and figuratively commune with my higher self, and I want to share exactly how I did it. Now, I've got a previous video explaining how I like to meditate, which is to meditate inside of a meditation, and I'm going to link that above, below, etc. And I'm taking that one step further. What I do as an overview is I get into a meditative state in the morning, and then I wake up in my meditation, visualization, in a different place. I call it my mind palace. I walk around and interact with this place, and it's a manifestation that I'm working on, so it's a double whammy. I'm getting the benefit of learning about it and using it as the mind palace. Brilliant. And what I do is I meditate in my meditation. And what I was able to do this morning was to meditate in my meditation, which brought me into a third level of meditation. We're getting pretty inception-y here, but stick with me, this is the fun part. And once I was in that third meditation, so it goes from being in my real house, to being in my mind palace, to being on the beach, and that beach I started meditating again, and things get faster and more condensed, it's amazing. So I sat into another meditation, and while in that, I feel like that would be a third level meditation, but I could be wrong. The counting gets a little weird when you're talking about dimensions in reality. But the third order of meditation, let's call it, I actually woke up back in my house. So I went house, palace, beach, house. So we're creating a cycle. And I woke up in my bed. I got out of my bed. I walked over to where I was meditating, and I was looking right at me. So I was projecting my higher self through this meditative process back at myself. And I was able to, I was still sitting, eyes closed and everything, but I was then standing in front of me doing that. And I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous. I swear to God I was not on any drugs. This is first thing in the morning. And it felt absolutely unreal. Now, why do I think this is powerful? Well, this morning, I realized that what I was doing is actually tuning into states of my higher self. If we consider this to be an infinite abundant universe, then our higher self is not limited to just one specific dude hanging out somewhere else. It's actually us, at different levels of comprehension and existence, constantly. And I was able to tap into myself, the God force that is all of us, but specifically my own, which is, again, all of us, but my interpretation of it, and bring it back to me. And it was absolutely incredible to see myself through the eyes of Source, because the amount of love that I felt for me was out of this world. Now, as a higher self being, there's still somewhat of a duality. There are still things that are being worked on. There are still aspects that I can't even begin to understand and articulate at this level of existence. But what's incredible is because the higher self is so in relation to us now, in our reality, so powerful, and so much more loving, I'm actually able to have that as a baseline, and then see myself, and not even have to justify anything, but just to completely and utterly flow through the unconditional love that I have for me. Now, if you can imagine one way of waking up in the morning, and yes, there's all kinds of crazy great fantasies that you could have right in the morning, but if you could wake up in the morning and be incredibly and utterly infatuated with how much you are in love with yourself, could there be a better way to start the day? I don't think so. I personally don't think so. And I love coffee. This is comparing to coffee which is my #1 drug of choice in this reality. So much so that I actually own a business selling coffee stuff. Like, I'm obsessed with coffee. This is better than coffee. I know, crazy, but it's better than coffee. And it is so straightforward to do. I actually can't quite express the magnitude of the power. So I'm going to explain it again, and this may not work exactly in this order or way or this level. I went through 4 orders of meditation, but it may for you, it may not. Again, this is a personal journey. This is just me sharing how I understand it. And meditate in this reality, which we should all be doing every single day for however long you think is right. For me, it's usually about an hour or so in the morning because I literally lose track of time. I meditate and I wake up in my mind palace. And then from the mind palace, when I'm done exploring and enjoying that, I meditate and I end up and wake up on a beach. It's always a beautiful sunset or a sunrise, but there's always a beautiful sun that I can see, and I can literally feel the water of the tide coming in and on me. I can feel the sensations. I don't feel wet, but I feel like I'm sitting in the sand and I feel like there's water around me, but again, my body stays completely dry in this reality. And then from meditating at that level, that's where I wake up back in my bed here. And I was freaking out just a little bit this morning because I was so excited about what was happening that I was somewhat starting to realize that I may be learning how to astral project. Now, it didn't feel like there was anything leaving my body because I did all this process internally for sure. But I was able to walk around my space. And I know my space pretty well. I've been stuck in it because it's 2020 and it's only 500 square feet, which is not very big. Think about the size of your place and mine is 500 square feet. That's it. All of it. Bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room. Tiny. So when I was in that process, I was around in my space. It was like I was walking about, but I knew I was sitting on the couch, which is my favorite place to meditate because it's cozy. And then I actually was able to go outside afterwards. And if you're still with me and you think that this isn't entirely nuts, well, I was able to go outside, jump up my balcony as an astral being, and just walk around outside in areas that I know, so I wasn't pushing boundaries too much to begin with. But let me tell you, Buddhas, this is something that I am going to be practicing the heck out of because it is so incredibly powerful and awesome, and I can't wait to share more with you. So, remember, Buddhas, after hitting that like button, that subscribe button, that bell notification to get all of the videos, the most important thing to do is to love yourself.